Hey guys, welcome to Face Value Theology. This is Alex, and I just wanted to kind of give a very brief introduction as to where we've been, and then I'll hand it off to Colton to where we are going. So we've discussed time as far as our philosophy of time, and then our dedication, how we break up that dedication to who and what we give our time to. And we're actually here with another episode on how we dedicate our time, how we manage our time. And I'm going to hand it off to Colton for our specific topic for today.
Hey, thanks, Alex. And today, as we kind of alluded to this in some of our earlier episodes, but we're going to be talking about social media. Now, please do not turn off this podcast. I just said that. Right. Do not turn it off, please. I beg of you, please. We will say all kind things.
Yes,
mostly, but no, we want to talk about. It's something that we really do deal with from our generation, even the next generation, just generation out. I blank on these different generations.
Yeah, we're Gen Z.
Yeah, there we go.
They're Gen Alpha. the kids are Gen Alpha.
The kids these days.
I don't know what age it starts, but it's somewhere in the kids range.
They're in there. But no matter what, social media and just the idea of, hey, how much time are we spending on screen? So actually doing some research, different statistics that we found. Here's some just basic statistics taken from the summer from backlinko.com, revealing average screen time statistics. Worldwide, this is across, of course, the world, the average person, so male, female, anybody, spends about 6 hours and 38 minutes on screens. Those of us in the US spend about 6 hours and 40 minutes. So that's a quarter of your day.
Yeah.
6 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're lucky enough to get that much sleep at night, and we spend that time on our screens. That is absolutely mind-boggling.
Yeah.
41% of this is from the same site. 41% of teenagers ages 13 to 18 average more than 8 hours a day. 41%. So basically, pool of 10 teenagers, 4 of them spend more than 8 hours a day.
And this is not specifically social media.
Right. This is just screens in general. Okay. So we're kind of building the foundation there of how much time are they spending on social media. On their screens. Ages 16 to 24, average screen time is 7 hours, 35 minutes for ladies and 7 hours and 11 minutes for men. Great job, guys. Way to keep it real. Either way, those are still some horrible numbers for both of us. Yes. 7 hours plus for both guys and ladies. Now, here's an interesting thing from Pew Research, social media fact sheet. This is last updated from November of last year. It is YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram are the highest used social media for people ages 18 to 29. And it's very interesting to know that, like, for all those hours of screen time, what are we using it most on? For social media, you're using it on that YouTube, on that Facebook, on that Instagram. And for us, what does that mean? It means you spend a lot of time on our screens. Mm-hmm. It means you spend a lot of time on social media. I mean, just think for us, how many times when maybe we open YouTube, maybe we have a designated goal. We say, hey, I want to look up a certain video of something. YouTube pops up and it pops up a short. And he's like, oh, what's this? You click on it. Okay. Oh, that was interesting. And then you scroll to the next one. Mm-hmm. And then you scroll to the next one. And then 3 hours later, you're saying, what happened? Yeah. Where have we gone? So some very, very revealing statistics, very revealing information regarding social media.
Mm-hmm. And I know a lot of times, here's the thing, in the studies that I have done, both for classes and for this, the intent of us spending a lot of time is intentional.
Right.
Like the infinite scrolling. I mean, people that designed those features fully admit, they're like, yeah, we've designed this to make you spend hours here. Mm-hmm. They sadly are not ashamed of it at all. So for me personally, I have had Facebook and Instagram, and that is the only social media that I would have, at least the social media that I would consider that could be entertainment. I know some people consider WhatsApp and stuff like that social media, but I've had Facebook and Instagram, and my personal journey through that has been interesting because I didn't get Instagram until I was 18. I think I didn't get Facebook until I was 19. And I don't know. I definitely have fallen prone to the spending way too much time, whether even on YouTube, with the shorts or Instagram. So, Colton, do we want to try to dive into some practical things that we've done, or do we want to talk more about like how it pulls away from us? What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, well, one of the things we've alluded to this. We laid this foundation for those of us just now joining us. You're hearing Face Value Theology. You weren't here for episodes 1 and 2. We understand. Okay, our time is not ours; it's God's.
Yeah.
Everything that we do. What? Know ye, it says in 1 Corinthians. What? Know ye not that what? Your body is the temple of the Holy Ghost. It is everything that we have. Everything that we are, it is of God's.
Right. And
so we're thinking in terms of time, okay, as it relates to social media then, and we've already laid out, okay, what are our priorities? And I really encourage you, we had some really good talks about priorities, about that immediate relational circle. Go back and listen to those episodes if you haven't had a chance to do so yet. But we talked about, okay, if these are the priorities, to say my walk with God, my immediate relational circle, how I'm interacting with people, whether it's my spouse, whether it's if you're parents of young children, it's your children, whether you're in college, it's your roommate, those people that you have an immediate impact on, and that in a sense you are saying, I'm responsible for them, I am trying to care for them, I care for their spiritual, sometimes even their physical well-being. You're devoting time to that, which means if social media, that time spent on there, yes, in a sense, it's a method of communication, it's a method of, hey, here's what's going on in life. When those things begin taking over that time set aside for those priorities, okay, now we have issues. Mm-hmm. For me, it makes me think of Ephesians 5, 16 and 17. See then that you walk what? Circumspectly. You are walking with intention. You're walking with purpose, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time.
Yeah.
Because the days are evil. You're trying to redeem that time. And so again, how are we relating that back to social media? We need to make sure we are redeeming that time according to God. So if social media is taking away our time from those priorities, if it's taking away from the time, maybe it's even simple things. So for me, if I'm sitting on the couch and I know for a fact the dishwasher probably needs to be emptied in my house, but instead I choose to sit there and scroll on social media, it's probably not the best thing. And my wife's gonna be wondering, hey, you were home for all this time, what you doing? And I'm gonna say, man, I had a skill issue. I should be doing better. So it's those things you're thinking about to where, okay, where is this taking my time away from? And so even just to give some personal, like for me, personal background, knowing myself, I used to have Instagram twice. And both times I had to completely get rid of it, delete it. Why? Because the amount of screen time I was spending on it on a daily basis, man, it astounded me. Mm-hmm. It was upwards of 2, 3, sometimes 4 hours a day.
Yeah.
And once I removed it from my life, I was like, you know what? I can get more things done. I can focus on the relationships that God wants me to focus on. I can do what God needs me to accomplish. And that's what worked for me. Could I go back and have an Instagram account? Could I go back and have whatever accounts? Sure. But for me, I know myself best.
Right.
I know, Colton, if you get into this, you're going to spend way too much time on it. And so for me, the method was completely remove it. And that's not to say, how do you not have social media in this modern day culture? Well, I still have Facebook, so call me old. I do have Facebook nowadays, but it's purely to, tell home church family back home, tell family, hey, here's where we are. Hey, I'm still alive. Promise,
Yeah.
Hey, look at this bumblebee I took a picture of. I don't know. Just you're letting people you're there in a sense. But that's kind of some practical things in my life. It's again the mindset of here's what my priorities are. This is what social media does with my time. If those two don't align, we're gonna have to discuss it.
Right.
We're gonna have to think about those things.
Yeah. And like Colton was saying earlier about redeeming the time, using our time wisely, spending it not mostly, but wholly dedicated to glorifying God. It is a very individual. You have to think individually, because if you have social media and you're like, yeah, I look at it every other day to check to see if I have messages, and I don't fall into that struggle of spending too much time, then I think you can cautiously use it. And a lot of people maybe naively say that social media can be a tool. I think it definitely can, if used very, very carefully.
Correct.
But I think the possibility of dedicating that time of misusing that time of spending time on social media is very dangerous. So you just have to evaluate personally every single thing in your life. Something that I've been asking people recently, and it's been really good for conversation, is what is your why? Like, why do you get up in the morning truly? Because the answer that we all want to give is, well, because I want to glorify God and I want to live my life to serve him. We all know that should be the answer, and hopefully it truly is. But what is my why when I have social media?
Right.
Am I using it am I using it as the potential tool that it can be? I would say for me, 80% of the time, no. It's typically just for
leisure. It's for, hey, let me take 5 minutes. Yeah. The hopeful 5 minutes that maybe turns into something more. But
right.
Yeah.
So the possibility of it being a tool is great. And especially since everybody's so intermingled and intertwined through social media, if you create a post or a video or even an account that is dedicated specifically to the things of God and biblical topics, I think that can be an awesome thing.
Absolutely.
But it's just, I mean, that's what we're doing here. Podcasts are a form of social media, and we're using this as a tool to hopefully be able to present the truth of God with the love of God, and I think there is great good. So I just, like we said at the very beginning, we're not here to bash social media. We're really not. We're just here to hopefully give some insight from what we've done personally in order to help you guys maybe see it from a different perspective.
And Alex, speaking to that, you mentioned social media it can be a great tool. Obviously, churches and organizations, they use it to promote content. They use it to promote the gospel. Absolutely. We want that. We want them to promote the truth. Something that I think Alex and I see a lot is that when people, they say, okay, I want to use social media as this tool to build those connections, build relationships, and present truth. But what we can fall into the trap of is that over time, as we're spending more and more time on the account itself, maybe we're spending more time on that than we actually are with people. I think from there, maybe we're missing the mark. It's to where, yes, it's a tool. We want to use it in that way. But if you're sacrificing, that face-to-face discipleship, that iron sharpening iron, man, you're missing out on so much that God has in store for you, that you can get that from person to person. Because again, when we have social media, what are we trying to do? With our own personal accounts, with our own, whatever you want to use for social media platform, Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, whatever it is. We're trying to put forth the best version of ourselves. Right. And we feel pressured. Man, I got to do this because this person posted this and this person has this. Oh, that's interesting. I should post it this way. And in a sense, we're focusing so much how we look at ourselves on a screen and less time how we testimony-wise, face-to-face, testimony-wise with fellow believers. And I think that's something that many of us struggle with. Even I've struggled with over the past few years, thinking about how much more it matters for me to carry myself testimony-wise, just person to person, because that's going to make a more lasting connection. If I want to talk to somebody, rather than, whether it's messaging them through Instagram or messaging them through whatever, man, just give them a phone call. Yeah. Like, why send them a picture of, hey, here's this billy goat at a petting zoo. Just thought I'd post a picture of it. Like, give that lady a phone call and say, hey, how are you doing? Hey, I'm at a petting zoo petting a billy goat. Oh, that's so cool. What's going on in your life? And you're building those connections. You are keeping those relationships connected in that sense. Does that make sense? We're not losing ourselves to the social media to say, here's my means of relationship. Right. Man, we've got to keep it with one another. We got to keep it with that kind of face-to-face connection, not relying solely on our social media. There's got to be that balance. Yeah. If that makes sense.
Absolutely. We just have to be careful. I think that is kind of how I would describe my philosophy with social media. You know yourself. Hey, I spend way too much time on this. And I think a lot of people know what way too much time is. Sometimes way too much time for me can be 15, 30 minutes. Because I know I'm sitting there scrolling on random reels. Very rarely is it anything bad. Sometimes if it comes up, I'm like, why did I watch that? And that's a whole
nother topic.
Separate topic. We haven't even talked about content in social media. But sometimes I'll sit there for 15, 30 minutes in between class and I'll sit there and look at social media and I'm like, why did I do this? So one thing that I've done, I have an iPad and I've put all of my social media on the iPad and I keep it in my backpack or across the room from me from my bed. Cause I find the most time that I spend on social media is when I'm on my bed, just especially at night.
Yeah.
And so I keep it on the iPad. I keep it separate. I do not keep it on my phone because it becomes way too easy to pull it out. So there is no catch-all scenario for every person when we understand that. And again, like we said, certain people are going to struggle with certain things. But I think regardless of whether you say you struggle with social media use or not, if you're spending too much time on it, then that needs to be what you address.
Absolutely.
And we're not here to say any specific number of what too much time on social media looks like. Some people could say, I spend 5 minutes on it and it's too much. Some people might say, I spend an hour on it. It's too much. Some people might say, they spend 3 hours and that's too much. We're adults. We get to figure that out. But my biggest push, don't try to handle a business that is intent on getting you addicted to something alone. Find people that are going to be an encouragement to you, even if it's your parents, your siblings, your roommate at college. I say, hey, this is something that I struggle with. I need you to keep me accountable to this. I'm going to set up these barriers. And I know a lot of people, have time locks on their phones. I know there's something, there's a device, it's called the Brick.
Yes, the Brick app.
That you can tap your phone against the brick and you just keep the little block somewhere in your house or in your car or something like that. And it locks your phone out from specific apps that you allow it. Because I think with Android and Apple, you can't necessarily completely block apps. It just kind of has like
it's like a self-built screen time, but if you want to say ignore time limit, skip it, you click it, and you're back into it.
And after doing that twice, it just becomes second nature, and you just do it anyways.
But yeah, I mean, and kind of go along with that, it's just along with the Brick app, I'm thinking of even like more general practical tips, something that I kind of referenced earlier, radical amputation. Yeah. Sometimes that could be what it takes. So for me, like I said, for me, I don't have Instagram. That's not to say I won't get in the future. I may. But knowing myself how I was when I was younger, in my teen years, I tell myself, no, I can't handle it. Right. And that's not to say it's, again, radical amputation is, it could be both temporary or permanent. It requires a hard look at your life, requires a hard look at your time. If you're to the point where your priorities are suffering, then maybe completely removing it from your schedule is the way to go. But again, as we talked about, I believe in the first episode, talking about how we're making our time behave. Our time is on a budget. We're budgeting out our time. Maybe you say, okay, for a season, I'm going to go cold turkey, completely remove it, then come back to it and say, okay, here is some time that I'm setting aside strictly for this.
Yeah.
If I go outside that time, I completely take it away. But if I stay within that time, hey, that's great. Because you are saying, Lord, this time is yours. I want to budget it out that will best glorify you. So you're taking control of the time that God gives you. And then secondly, kind of going along with that is choose wisely. Here's what I mean by that. There are a lot. I'm thinking of at least a dozen prominent social media. I mean, we have Snapchat, we have Be Real, Instagram, Facebook. Time you spent on YouTube, as you kind of referenced earlier, sometimes people view WhatsApp as the same. Some people view it as not. Anything within the metaverse, like any type of social media. There's, Discord, Reddit, all of those different types of ways to have social media. Maybe you need to say, you know what? I'm involved in 5 to 8 to 10 of these. Maybe I need to only do 2 or 3. Maybe you need to limit yourself to say, you know what? In a sense, you're asking yourself, which ones do I care about the most? And I want to do those. Because if you're stretching yourself out, maybe you're spending, I'm only spending 10 minutes of time on each social media. Okay, well, if you have 10 platforms, that's 100 minutes. That's over an hour. So if you need to, choose wisely. Think through those ones that you use the most, that you think, okay, this one This one I'd rather use over this one. This one I'd rather use over this one, and kind of go through it that way.
Yeah.
So,
absolutely. Can we circle back to the radical amputation? Or radical, well, how did you say it? Radical
amputation, both temporary or permanent.
Yeah.
Up to the person.
We kind of briefly talked about content a few minutes ago.
Right.
I want to make this kind of a bold statement. If you know that you struggle with sin, especially visual sin, on your social media, you're watching things that you know you should not watch. And
again, don't want to generalize it, but you can say anything from pornography, things with corrupt communication, bad language, things with violence, like whatever it is that you struggle with, to say, I can't look at that, or I shouldn't be looking at that.
Yeah. I want to say that you've breached a gap that's different than just time management and dedicating your time and figuring out how to dedicate your time. You are now actively involved in watching sin. And I want to be bold in saying that if you know that you're doing that, you need to remove it. Because you have bridged a different gap.
Yeah.
And Christ says all throughout his word that we need to remove sin from our life. You can make arguments and you can figure out how to budget your time. That's not necessarily that's not inherently a sin issue. But if you know that you're struggling with consuming sin, because especially consistently, then you need to remove it from your life. And that means removing that social media platform. Because those platforms, once you start watching content, the algorithms are learning. Yeah. And they're going to say, you want this? Here's more of it. And you guys know this. Anybody that has social media says like, yeah, I watched one video about baking muffins and now my entire feed is full of baking muffins.
Nothing but muffins.
Right. So you guys all know this. But I very rarely hear it said. If you know that you are consuming sin on social media, get rid of it. Radically remove it. Yeah. That is a process of change found in Ephesians 4. Put off, renew, put on.
Absolutely.
You put off the things that are pulling you away. You put off the things that are taking your mind and your thoughts away from Christ. You renew that in God's word, filling it with purity and clean thoughts, and then you add on what is in Christ, and you go out and make those relationships with other people, and you go out and enjoy the life that God has for you outside of that dark realm of sin and social media.
Yeah, absolutely. And kind of as like a little final last general rule of thumb, this is something we referenced earlier already, but when my time on social media begins to take away from time spent with others face to face, there's a problem.
Yeah.
Simply put, just if it's taking away time from your relationships, time from your friendships, search yourself. Psalm 139, search me, O God, know my thoughts, try my heart. Yeah. Lord, what is it that I need to fix as it relates to social media? Get that taken care of and spend time with others. We spend so much time on our devices, man, get out. Some people would say, go touch grass. There is a world out there with people and God's creation. Go do that from time to time and you'll be glad that you did.
Yeah. We're not hating on social media. We're just hating on the sin and the effects that can be caused from social media. We love you guys. And we're hoping that you guys will take this and maybe from a little bit of practical experience from a couple guys who are struggling right along with you. We do love you guys. We want to help sharpen each other and you guys.
Yes.
So
yes,
as we wrap this up, we want to invite you. We, in pretty much every podcast platform that we will have, there will be opportunities for comments or reviews. Please ask questions. If you guys have any questions about anything that we said, any statistics that we mentioned at the beginning, or any of our philosophies, please ask. Let us know your thoughts if this helped. We would love to hear some feedback from you guys.
If you liked us, leave a 5-star review. If you didn't like us, stop listening to us. Don't leave that 1-star review. Leave that 5-star review. That's what we
or give us a chance.
Give us a chance. Either way. And if this could be a blessing to others, please share it. Yeah, that's our goal. We want to be a blessing to as many people as we can.
Sure.
For God's glory.
We're doing this. We're not doing this for the fame because we have all that we know is that our moms are really excited about listening to this.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I mean, if we get two views, and
amen.
That's all that we.
We're like 2 listens, not 2 views. We're not reviewing yet.
Yeah.
Maybe
we'll do videos someday when we become Anyway, we're gonna stop talking. Okay, we love you guys. See you guys next episode.
See you later.